right now it's stressful right now because they're gonna be in my pockets. So right now, it's just still wonderful though. My 2 girls. That's what I'm here for. Live for them. Come out here and show. That's what I'm here for.
From one girl dad to another, that's KaVontae Turpin, extremely talented athlete. How can I say this, Stevie? Vertically challenged KaVontae Turpin. That's we see eye to eye, but I don't have his ability. But
I was gonna say, man, it doesn't matter how tall you are. He's playing at the highest level that you can ever play at right now.
Fight in the heart.
Love
it, man. Man, I missed your face. It's been has it been 3 weeks or 2 weeks?
I think it's about 3 weeks, man.
Just trying to get the rotation back. Pass rush with Stevie Lee. This is maybe one of his favorites months, not because of the heat, because we're about to set a record we're not proud of, 100 plus degree days in a row here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
But man, our guys at Hargrove Roofing, that does not stop them, does it?
No, it doesn't. They're still on top of those roofs, hammering away, man.
Dallas Cowboys camp. You heard KaVontae talk about what he's got a new baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
A second one about there, and he's got to make the roster because they're going to be in his pockets. Is that true for you?
Oh, man. Oh, you triggered me right there, man. Having 2 girls is the most the biggest expense you'll ever see in your life.
One position that everybody's not really talking about, Ezekiel Elliott's gone. Tony Pollard had the franchise tag placed on him. He's still recovering from that broken leg. And he's on pace to be ready. But man, they did draft Deuce Vaughn, who I think is going to be an electric talent for them as a returner, some at running back, whatnot. But they don't really have the back to go in between the tackles to get that extra yard, the big back like Zeke was. I mean, from what I don't know if Deuce Vaughn can do that. I don't know. I mean, the kid can do a lot of things and also protect a back who can protect in the pass rush.
Yeah. We know Deuce is a little bit undersized, but the kid was mighty in college, though.
Yes, he was in high school as well.
I'm excited to see what he can do behind those big old boys on the line, but never underestimate him. He might get in there and surprise a lot of other people too. Darren Sproles did it.
He did.
He surprised a bunch of people, and if I don't know if Darryl can do it, Deuce has a blueprint and he can do it as well. Now, you're right. Pollard is getting over that leg injury, but he still has some gas in his tank, I believe, too. So I think he'll be their number 1 running back, and he's shown that he can go between tackles.
Yeah,
go between the guards.
Yeah,
yards. So I think that they'll be okay. It's question marks, yeah, but I think they'll be just fine. Well, especially with pass protection of Dak. Pollard always had his back with that.
Yeah.
I don't think Zeke was a good pass blocker. He wasn't better than Pollard in that regard.
They took another hit today. Ronald Jones, he's on the roster. He's a Cowboy running back. Detection of a PED, performance-enhancing drug. 2-game suspension. I know in the grand scheme of a 17-game season, that's not a lot. Of course, I'm assuming that they can appeal it. That's why I bring that up. They've got to get another running back that can produce those yards. But, I think a lot of fans around who are Longhorn fans and are excited about DeMarvion Overshown, rookie, former Longhorn linebacker with the Dallas Cowboys, and our friend of the pod, who I'm also doing Cowboys camp episodes with, Michael Coleman, who was my mentor in my late teenage years, early and up to 20, interned for him, really got into the understanding the business through him. This is a snippet of the interview that he did with DeMarvion, just a short piece. And DeMarvion, he does not forget where he came from, and that being humble beginnings and where he's from in East Texas, that being Arp, Texas.
You know, I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to what got me to this point, what got me through college, because like I say, it wasn't easy. You know, I ain't have the hardest road, but I didn't have the easiest road getting here either. And, you know, those days where it gets hard and, you know, I wake up with bumps and sores, but, you know, I think about home and I think about all those people that's cheering me on, going back home and seeing how those kids, you know, reacted to seeing me.
I think your voice has gotten lower too since you've been in the NFL.
He's got a little bit more bold voice when you get on that NFL training camp field.
Looks like he bulked up a little bit too, man.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good for him.
He's a good kid.
I think even at that level, you got to find some kind of chip to be on your shoulder and play for something bigger than you, you know. So sounds like he found that, playing for his hometown, playing for Longhorns, you know, and playing for something just bigger than himself.
He's one guy that I don't think it will ever change him.
Yeah.
You know, he's a new father as well. But imagine growing up, even where you did in Shreveport, and you know all about East Texas. Imagine growing up in East Texas or Shreveport like you did, and you get the opportunity to play for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a huge deal. Huge opportunity.
Big deal. It's even bigger for him growing up in Texas, coming to school at Texas, and then playing his pro ball in Texas. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. Coleman told me, I call him MC. He said that I asked him, you think he's going to get some burn on the defense, or is he going to have to earn his way through the special teams? He says, no, they got him running with the twos, the ones, and sliding him all over, behind the line. And athletic guy. I'm looking forward to it. Before we get to the Longhorns, which had their introductory press conference, I got to show you where Stevie was. He's been doing a little traveling, and when I talked to him, he was at a museum. But before you talk about that trip, man, I love this picture right here. I really do, and it's of you and your dad. You went to a baseball game.
Yeah, man.
Sharing a big moment. I mean, there's Papa Lee. You guys were in Baltimore, right? We
started the trip in D.C. Stayed in D.C. for a few days. We shot over to Delaware. My daughter wanted to go see Delaware State. And then from Delaware, we went to Baltimore for like 5 days.
Wow.
And when we were there, I looked up and saw that the Yankees were going to be playing.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was Aaron Judge's first game back from injury. So
wow, good timing.
Yeah, it was great timing. I looked online. I looked at the seats and I said, I can be in the nosebleeds for $50. I can be at the top of the stadium for $50, or I can pay a little bit more money and be 6 rows behind home plate. And I said, this is pretty special. It's my dad's first MLB game.
Is it really?
This MLB game together. And I was like, let's just do it. Let's just behind home plate. Let's get a good view of how big Aaron is. Aaron is huge, by the way.
I've never seen him up close in person.
Oh my God, dude is big. He's every bit of all-American baseball player, you know. But anyway, so I figured that we'll just spring for the seats behind home plate, and we had a 2-hour rain delay before the game started. But we hung in there, man. We hung in there. We went to the team pro shop and to buy these hats during the rain delay, and we didn't want to leave the pro shop, so we pretended like we were still shopping for 2 hours because it was raining outside. And so we hung out in there during the rain delay, and then the game started 2 hours later. We didn't get home from that game, and we loved every minute of it. It was a walk-off home run. The Orioles won.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, 1-0. So, it weren't any runs scored, but it was a good time, man. It was a really good time. And then we were down so close. My dad was sitting next to a spotter. So he worked for the Orioles.
Yeah.
And if you know my dad, he's gonna mess with you. And so he leans over to the spotter. He's on his job. He has his Oriole shirt on, has an Oriole hat on, and they kept walking Aaron Judge, right? And so he leaned over to the guy that works for the Orioles and said, "Look like y'all scared to pitch to him."
Oh my God!
And the guy just kind of kept staring straight forward like he didn't hear him. And he was like, "What you think?" And then the guy finally was like, "You tell me." And then he just kept looking forward. I was like, "Dad, leave this guy alone. This is his job. Like, he can't talk stuff about the Orioles, and this is his job. He can't speak with him. Leave him alone." But he had his notepad and he had his iPad with him and all that stuff. He was a bit, I don't know what he did for the team, but he worked for the team. I know.
Yeah.
And every pitch he took notes and things like that. But he was sitting right next to my dad, and he was just in his ear, man. So it was fun to be there, man. It was fun being in the stadium. And so when I posted that picture, everyone texted me. They're like, Camden Yards is the best stadium to watch a baseball game.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, and I've been to some pretty cool stadiums. I've been to, Chicago, been to a Cubs game, I've been to a Red Sox game, I've been to a Astros game, I've been to a Rangers game. And when I looked around, I think you're right. It really was nice. The downtown Baltimore is very, very clean. We walked back from the stadium. Everyone was cool and nice, and well, they hate Yankees fans.
Oh, so everybody does.
Everybody does. And there's a lot of Yankee fans there. So, man, it was just, I can go on and on about this night and this game with my dad. Yeah, well, it is.
You got to come home, and you come back home from that great vacation and see some museums. Now it's time for Camp Hook'em, and this is how it all started today with the traditional State of the Longhorns address by Coach Sark and the coordinators. But Sark was asked why he feels different about the beginning of this season.
What stands in the way is us, and until we prove that, that's what's in the way. But I think that we've got a great mindset going into it. Ready to work on those things to put ourselves in the best position that we can heading into the fall.
Saying that what they need is there.
Mm-hmm.
What they do with those things that are in place is up to them. I don't want to dissect too deeply, but you played it. You play at the highest level of college for that university. You've seen the great Mac Brown, who is a great communicator and knows how to, not control the narrative, but say the right things. But do you see Sark, to me, maybe it's just me overanalyzing, and it's just the first one of the season. There's an air of confidence right there.
I think overall there's an air of confidence from a lot of people right now. And I think it's rightfully so. We got a quarterback that I know that I said that, Malik might be my guy.
Yeah.
But both of those guys have had time under his belt.
Right.
And it may work out to be whomever is in there got or has been in his playbook and knows his system. Right, is whoever can deliver his system the best. So I'm pretty confident, and I'm glad that he's confident actually, because we lost a few things on offense and a few things on defense. One of the best running backs that ever come through the university, we lost,
and two great running backs in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. But the mind of Sarkisian that could fill those holes, I think we're okay. And then the defense, we lost a couple of people, but I think that we're going to be okay, So when we got some good pieces back. So we had a pretty decent season last year. It was decent, right?
Progress.
It's progress. So we can't go anywhere but up from there. You know what I'm saying? And if we're going up from there, we're going to be pretty damn good.
I think Texas has the best. People will argue with me on this. It's debatable. I think they have the best O-line in the country. It's going to be interesting. They have some receivers who have stepped away from some good situations. A.D. Mitchell being one of them. I played for programs like Alabama and Georgia. Just a lot of talent. Now it's how do you get the ball to these guys? Then you've got the super tight end, J.T. Sanders, and you've got a long list of guys who can do stuff with the ball in their hands, and it's going to be fun. And all we can do is just humor everything and let things take place and just sit back and laugh as Longhorn Nation analyzes everything on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of watching everybody overreact. Well, I heard they had great off-season meetings. You know, they were a good player-led camps, you know, passing. Yeah. But it all depends on one person on that off. Can Quinn take the next step in his development?
Right. Absolutely.
That's what it relies on. Speaking of humoring, you know, since it's been a while, my friend, you know where I'm going with some of these pictures. I saw this, and I've received a cake like this before, but when your grandma or mom tries to make a homemade cake, hey, it's special. It's special. But you try to make it look like a dinosaur, certain things can go wrong.
Oh, man. Yeah, that is wrong. I think mom or grandma was thinking about something else.
She was
My son loves dinosaurs, so his grandma made.
So, as a grandparent, you finished making that. What dinosaur looks like that? A brontosaurus? A brontococcus?
Cockosaurus. Hey, man, you lay it up, I'll knock it down.
Yeah, you knock it out of the park like Aaron Judge, but he walked it. Before we go to break, you know, there's been a lot of really good – we always have great moments on the golf course, and including, you know, like we do at the Cole Pittman when it's 120 degrees. There are wives out there who humor their husbands who love golf, and if they live on the golf course, I think this is a dream situation for a wife to react like this when you're making the turn to the back nine.
I got hot dogs and chips and 3 beers.
Oh, thank you, baby.
You're welcome. Did you make par?
No, not even close.
Really?
Yeah, I shot 210.
All right. Well, then here's some extra wieners for your pussy.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's perfect, man. That's perfect.
Dude, you know that she was hoping. She could not wait for him to make that turn.
Yep. Yeah. She had that queued up already.
And those wiener. Do you think she cooked the Oscar Myers?
Did she cook them?
Do you think she
Not
cooked
the
them?
She held that on. She held on to those and was ready for him to just say, "Oh, she knew he didn't make par. He's not that good." She knew that.
She knows he's horrible. She knows that he's not. He's like me.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going full stroke.
Right.
Oh my God. Well, brother, we're going to take a quick break here from our folks from Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof? Where Stevie Lee is the star of this certain spot. And then when we come back, we're going to have some tips, and we're going to discuss the end of an era here in Austin that honestly, I think I'm not alone in this situation. I don't know exactly what happened, but we will get to that. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Here at Hargrove Roofing, we try to think outside the box to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I brought in my friend Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns. He's going to help the team strategize, really motivate them, light a fire.
This guy's going to block down. This guy's going to block down. You put your butt into the guard, and that way my Mike linebacker gets free to do what?
Not only are they going to learn a thing or two, but they're going to also leave with a great attitude and a bunch of smiles on their faces.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with roofing exactly?
Get out.
Right now.
I said get out.
For me, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun, making our employees have a great time. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Hey, this is Coach with Hargrove Roofing. We're super excited about sponsoring the Big 12 Football Media Day on Stories Inside the Man Cave. Know who's on your roof? Hargrove Roofing.
You learn a lot through failure, as we all talk about a lot in dealing with sports, and it teaches you a lot. And but if you're made of the right stuff, winners respond. Winners come back a better version of themselves. Winners go right back at it. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
So that's Coach Venables, Brent Venables from Big 12 Media Days.
Mm-hmm.
They did make a bowl game. They had a quick start, and then some things happened. Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback, goes down. Then they played Texas, and we saw what Texas did do, annihilated them 49-0.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of got things together enough to become bowl eligible, and then they gave Florida State a great game in that bowl game. But Dylan Gabriel's back. They've recruited well. And it's OU. But what's your intuition telling you, by the way, about OU this year in the final year in the Big 12?
I'm not really worried about them, but it is OU. It's a rivalry game when it comes to our game, so anything happens. They're going to remember what we did to them last year, right? But I'm okay. I'm okay. The way how bad they were last year, I don't know if they can turn it around to be as good as they need to be in the Big 12.
Right.
Their team was gutted. They're going through a lot of adversity right now with Brent's wife and things like that. But I don't know if it's. I don't know if they'll have the stuff to make a big run in the Big 12 right now.
I think they'll be better than last year.
Better than last year, yes.
I'd say an 8, maybe 9-win team. And to your point, Stevie, Coach Venables' wife, Julie Venables, diagnosed with breast cancer. And, oh, man, I went through that twice with my ex-wife. But I have a feeling that there's going to be a hell of a prayer warrior team across the country for her, and rightfully so. Prayers and all the positive thoughts imaginable for the Venables family, in particular, Julie Venables. A great family, by the way. Stevie, there's something that I just can't put my finger on it. I just don't understand. A lot of the people at 104.9 The Horn really hasn't been around too long. But I will say they had built up a really, really good group of people as far as talent. They did a great job. Kristen Killingsworth, great job behind the scenes. Look at all those faces.
Yeah.
Marge, Craig Way, Jeff, Babers, Snoop. Just to put a few, those are some talented individuals.
Yeah.
And that's not even all of them. And I don't know. There's two things here, Stevie. I don't understand WTF, why sports talk radio does not succeed well in Austin long term.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. All I got to say, beginning right there in the bottom right, Snoop Daniel built a brand and really created a hell of a following for high school sports. Nobody else has done.
Right.
Then he gets let go. And he's starting his own now called VAR, as for Varsity VAR _ Austin, developing the same following. And, Craig Way, the voice of the Horns. I mean, a lot of these guys, even Babers, Snoop, Craig, Harge, all ties to this podcast.
Yeah.
I just feel like whoever is making the decisions, This is the best era of sports talk radio in the Austin, Texas market, and you freaking destroyed it from the top. Have you heard anything? I mean, what do you know about it?
I don't know anything about it. All I know is Babers was a teammate of mine at Texas. In fact, Babers introduced me and my wife.
Is that right?
Yeah. So he's a good friend of ours.
He's a good guy. I love him.
Listened to the Horn, a few times. Listen to Craig, and I like seeing Snoop on TV when he actually get on. What channel does he come on?
Fox 7.
Fox 7. Yeah, I love seeing him on there. And you're right. He built the brand, and that's his own brand. He can run with it. The Horn was lucky to have him. So I don't know, man. I was out of town when all this stuff was happening, but it is strange that a big brand like this that's behind a big brand like the University of Texas should be almost national. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So there are Longhorns everywhere. I mean, me and my wife was pointing out people in Baltimore with Longhorn hats and shirts on.
Oh, yeah, global.
Yeah, it's global. Yeah. So
our guy Stu Myrick done.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So something's got to give, man. I don't know what happens next with some of these guys, but they're talented and they'll land somewhere and do, and like Snoop, maybe even do their own thing. But it's surprising, I should say.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is, man, you don't. Okay, so number one, they were locked out of their own space because the lease wasn't paid for at one point, and I don't know how long it wasn't paid for. I mean, that's well-known fact. Number one, how do you not pay the lease? Number two, how do you mismanage a company or entity like this, the Austin Radio Network, or if there's a bigger entity that I'm not aware of? How do you mismanage it so poorly and not realize what you have, and then have the behind the what I notice kind of is from my perspective, from a media point of view, because I worked my ass off in the media doing all types of things, and I'm glad I did that. They have great talent on air, tremendous talent. Even Aaron Hogan's part of that, and he's been involved in it forever. He does a damn good job. And Bucky Godbolt, come on, man. But you got to pour the same amount of effort and pay and respect to the people behind the scenes. A guy like Snoop, who does everything, and now he's doing it on his own. And you're going to – I don't know, man. I just feel like the people who are running the ship really F this up.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with UT whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
How do you have a weak signal in parts of Austin?
Yeah.
That's shitty, man. So, I don't know. It's disappointing because I posed this question to Harge, and he couldn't answer me. He didn't know. Maybe he couldn't speak on it. But I've often asked myself, is this really a true market that can support Austin Sports Talk Radio?
I think the answer is yes. I think that poor management is to blame here.
100%. Ownership, greed, arrogance.
Yeah.
It's got to be those. Because what else? How do you just – and these guys were emotional, wore their hearts on their sleeves. They did it for the passion. And guys who are knowledgeable and talented and friends of ours. That's what pisses me off about this.
Yeah.
Extremely talented people.
Yep.
I don't know. Well, I don't know what else maybe you'd like to add to it, but I just.
No, you're good. You got it, man. You nailed it.
It's inexcusable if you ask me, man. It's a joke. I don't even know the people who run it except for Bob Cole, and he's not the one that's responsible for any of this. I don't know the other people. I just know there's too much talent, and how do you not make money off of that?
Right.
We're coming down to the latter third of the Major League Baseball season. Like you saw the Baltimore Orioles, they're leaders of their division. But how about this? The Rangers and Astros. Last check, Rangers had a 1-game lead in the AL West. Astros two-time World Series champion, coming back. What happens in this race, and what do you think happens in late September right here?
I don't know, man. It's a toss-up to me. I do know that they're picking people up. I know the Rangers picked up Max from the Mets.
Max Scherzer, yep.
Mm-hmm. And then Houston today picked up Verlander from the
again.
Mets. Yeah, again from the Mets. So I don't know what the Mets doing. They're just dumping rosters. They're dumping money off their roster. But they both those guys landed in Texas. But anyway, I like Houston, man. I always liked Houston.
Yeah.
But if I have to choose Houston and the Rangers, it's going to be Houston. But I like the Rangers too. You know, I have the benefit of living in Austin, so I can pick and choose who's going. You know.
Well, the Rangers have done. You know, they've come from way down the bottom. How they developed it through their farm system and had some key acquisitions the last year or so. You know, kind of like Houston has done, but Houston has a sustainable program, and the Rangers look like they're going to have that same type of program. Man, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with bias. I'm going to go with my heart here. I hate anything related to Houston, except I like people. I'm just not an Astros fan. I'm not a Rockets fan. I'm not anything Houston. There's people there I love, no doubt about it. But man, I'm tired of losing, and I got to pull for the Rangers. I got a feeling this thing will not be decided till the last week of the regular season.
Okay.
But either way, you probably both will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, more than likely. Rangers, I think, are a little ahead of schedule, but hey, you sucked us in. Might as well go ahead and pull it out and get a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So the Astros have the experience. The smart me is telling me to say the Astros are going to win this race here in the AL West. I don't know. But I'm going full on for the Rangers. I'm tired of losing to those people. You know, but hey, you can be a fan on this show. Stevie Lee, it's been a while, so we need you to give the people what they want. A recommendation to either dine, visit, or experience in the ATX.
Well, I'm gonna go dining again because I like to eat.
Yeah, I never knew that.
But man, I think I wanted to keep it simple today, man.
Okay.
I was in Baltimore. My dad likes burgers, so we went to check out a place that apparently had good smash burgers.
Yep.
It didn't. So I think I'm gonna go with the trusty Hop Dotty, man.
Woo!
Hop Dotty.
I got you, man.
They're all over Austin, Round Rock area now, so just check them out.
Before we move on to our favorite segment, the TikToking of the week, I've got to offer another place you got to visit, but you got to go and get your reservations probably a month out. Yamas Greek Greek restaurant. YAMA apostrophe S. I think it's apostrophe. Maybe not. Take the apostrophe out. It's on Balcones Drive, catty corner to the Randall's. It's in that space which used to be a gastro pub for a very brief time.
Okay.
Fantastic food. Amazing. You go in there, order different family style dishes.
Oh, Terrytown, right?
No, it's closer to where I am. It's where 2222 and Balcones intersect.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of West Austin, but northwest.
Yeah.
Kind of like north central. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Northwest central. The interior, it did a fabulous job. And it's the wife of the couple who owns it. She's a proud Anderson Trojan.
Oh, really?
Got to throw that out there.
Good stuff, man.
Hey,
so good place to take a young lady.
Oh, 100%. Oh, and I think the pro tip from my previous visit, I think because I was with a group of people. I think if you get there at 4:30, get there a place at a bar. I'm going to say this: there is a ton of talent which populate Yamas.
Okay.
A lot of talent. I mean, people dressed to the nines, beautiful people. Hey, TikTok in the week. It's one of you're a fan of this person, and another gem.
We only need to shower 2 to 3 times per week.
I would normally come on here and tell you not to listen to a medical professional, but with this one, don't do it. Ma'am, do you know how hot it is outside? It is so hot outside, the Baptist ain't even burning books. It's hotter than a spoon at Demi Lovato's house. It is hotter than a lonely housewife reading 50 Shades of Grey. Hotter than a hooker's doorknob on nickel night. For the sake of everything holy, wash your ass.
Hey, he's not wrong, man.
No.
Yeah, please wash.
Dude, that a health professional saying you only need to bathe 3 or 4 times a week.
Nah, man. My kids make fun of me because I'll shower sometimes three times a day, man. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I showered three times last night during my colonoscopy prep. It was wearing me out. I couldn't stand the feeling of getting up and down, walking. Man, I got my steps in last night. I will say that.
I'm sure you did. That's funny.
Got to stay clean, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yes, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
You know, we've talked about great places to eat around here, keeping your body clean. It's August, which means it's that final hurdle toward college football season. And if I'm missing anything else, tell me something good.
You're spot on. I'm telling you something good. There's cut grass in the air.
Woo!
There's fresh chalk on the field.
Oh, God.
And
preach it, baby.
There is stinky pad smell.
Woo, ammonia.
Boys are back in town.
Boys?
Yes. Getting ready for college football, man. Dude, it's so much in the air right now. I love this time of year as a spectator. As a player, I knew it was about to be some hard work and some hard summer days, two-a-days next to the I-35, smelling all the fumes off the big trucks while you're trying to huff and puff for air. But now as a spectator, this is my favorite part of the year. I like Coach Shark's energy. There's a staff member that I am working with to sell his house and sold him a house. I love his energy. I love the energy around the university, the kids. They're posting pictures of their summer workouts. I love it all, man. This is going to be a fantastic, fun season. The last season of the Big 12. And we can go out with a big old bang and go and stomp into the SEC next year. So I think this could be an exit party for us, you know? And I'm really, really excited. I love the energy in the city. Everyone's excited about it. So let's get it. I'm ready. That's
man. This is like a locker room pregame talk from Stevie Lee. Man, I'm fired up. This little bitty hair follicles that I have remaining on here, they're standing up tall. Let's get it, man.
Yeah. And then, you know, the other good thing is when the season starts, we go back to once a week and we can talk about everything, the goods, the bads, the uglies, and everything about college football this season, man. I can't wait to see your mug every week. You know, we've been doing it every other week. We've been on vacation and things like that. So this is 3 weeks out. Let's get back to every week, man. Let's do this thing.
And just so y'all know, when we go every week, the episodes will be a little shorter.
Yeah.
You know, because we're going to focus on content. We're going to be refined. And We're going to work with Hargrove on promoting of them because they are family to us.
Absolutely.
They really are. And then you'll get to see Tess more often. A lot of people enjoy that. Everybody loves Tess.
Yeah, they do.
And
the first lady of the man cave.
First lady of the man cave. You do. Hards likes her a lot. For the pride of Shreveport, Louisiana, that being this guy, Stevie Lee, and all the Hargrove family from Hargrove Roofing, and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hards, Big Mike, and Coach Mo. What do we say, Stevie Lee?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.